TV besties, what's good? We are here to get into another recap review of Marriage at First Sight. Marriage at First Sight is in Nashville, Tennessee, apparently the mecca of bachelorette parties, which your girl didn't know about. And now you got your girl thinking when she get engaged, like, we might be going to Nashville. We might not be doing nothing tropical. And your girl loves tropical. Your girl like the water, the sand, the beach, and some hot ass weather. But focusing back into it, y'all. So we're on the first episode of Marriage at First Sight. I ain't gonna lie, y'all, I was a little back and forth on how we was going, on really if I was gonna do a recap on this first episode, because mainly, this is where they're just telling their families. This is where they meet each other. They have the bachelor and bachelorette party, and then they go shopping for wedding attire, and then we may see someone get married, or at least the beginning of someone about to get married. And basically that is basically what we got here. So don't drop off just yet. Stay on, hit that like button if you enjoy this video. That really helps to get this video pushed out to more people like you. And as well, hit that subscribe button, bang the bell, because you don't want to miss any drops, any videos when I drop them. I got it out. Okay, y'all. So let's just go into it. Let's not waste any time. Let's talk about it. No, this is what we are going to do. We're going to do it from beginning to the end. Because we're going to start at the end, and then we're going to just kind of like move forward. Because one thing I want to say first off, and I have said it, if you have not seen any of my other recaps, if you've seen some of my other Marriage at First Sight recaps, you've heard this before. If you haven't, it don't matter. Sit back, relax, enjoy, because we're going to talk. And don't forget to drop some comments below, because I want to hear your thoughts too. So, getting into it, y'all. One thing I'd probably say that, because Kirsten and Shaquille are the first ones to get married, right? So, Kirsten, I think it's Kirsten. I'm calling her Kirsten. I think everybody's pronouncing it Kirsten, so I do believe it's Kirsten. Kirsten basically makes a comment of of what she sees basically in her guy. And did I say that even right? They kind of all can have this thought about who their partner's going to be, who their partner's going to look like. I hate that. I hate that because it's kind of backwards to me. Why are you trying to marry at first sight and then get the sight of your person? Because the thought of your person is based on people that you have chosen before. I don't understand why people don't go into this open about what they look like, their personality, who they are, all that. Because I feel like everyone who has an expectation for who their potential wife or husband is going to look like is greatly disappointed. I.e., Kirsten, she went in, she's already talking about, first off, the moment she was talking about how picky she was, I was like, yep, here we go. This is going to be a problem. There's definitely going to be something about Shaquille that she's not going to like. Now, the crazy thing is that outside of him being a bald head guy, she has that. I think, in my opinion, obviously we're not the same people. In my opinion, though, Shaquille is a great looking guy. He's clean cut. He's educated. He's well dressed. Like, the boy puts on. Outside of that, it just seems like possibly she may not be fully attracted to him, whether it's the bald head or not. She said low cut, nice beard. He has a great beard, greatly groomed beard as a girl who loves beards. Like, very nice beard. He's a great looking guy. But going in, he was not it. So, of course, automatically, when she was like, she didn't like bald guys, I was like, all right, she's already picky. She's not going to be open because she already has this expectation for who she thinks her husband is going to look like. So, when we're seeing in the previews that she's like, no, she was just basically like telling her bridesmaids that just depending on like what, if she's attracted or not, if she's feeling him or not, will depend on what she does as far as like kissing him or not. And literally she says, if it's not it, she's gonna make him kiss her on the cheek. And boom, in the previews, that's what we see. I'm like, here we go with the shits. As much as I love this, and unfortunately everybody doesn't go in this process like that, it gets on my freaking, it literally, y'all, it gets on my nerves. And it's crazy how you can have this expectation for somebody who you do not know. Most of the people coming into this is because they want to choose, somebody who they haven't chosen before, because whatever. These people don't know you. They don't necessarily know your type. They don't know the guys that, besides what you tell them, that you normally go for. Well, necessarily they do. And half the time, they end up giving you the exact opposite of that, because one, that clearly wasn't working for you. And not even that, they can see things that we don't see that can match you good with a person. Take these expectations off the table about the person that you're potentially marrying, and then we wouldn't even be here. So now we got to go through this whole process of what that's going to be like, her possibly giving him cold shoulder, whatever. So already, I'm Team Shaquille. I'm not Team Kirsten. She's already, she on my nerves. I liked her, but now she on my nerves. So they the only ones getting married. So let me see. What was there anything else about them and their, let's see, y'all. Yeah, that was the biggest thing about them, because I feel like their setups with their families and telling the news, for the most part, everybody was okay. Shaquille, I don't really need to get on it. It wasn't anything that I felt like was worth talking about, right? So we're just gonna move on to another couple. Okay, so boom, such as now we're gonna move on to another couple. I'm only gonna talk about the things that that just stuck out to me, basically. I can't never really think of the words when I'm thinking of it. Probably like I talk real fast, y'all, sometimes, and sometimes thoughts be coming in before you're gonna see, because I'm gonna start a sentence and I don't finish it because the next thought is coming in. I done started talking about that, but work with me. Y'all with me. With Gina and Clint, like, one thing for me, y'all, like I feel like I do when it comes to these episodes is I feel like sometimes, out of everything that they film, I feel like certain things get edited in or stays in the editing for, like a reason. While I feel like this wouldn't be a thing because of how Clint is and who he is and what he described as far as what he wanted in a person, Gina's mom bringing up the fact about her worried about her making time, especially with her business. I think she's literally like opening up a store or, or something, or a storefront, y'all get what I'm saying. She's opening up a building of something, whatever her business is. I think it's like boutique, a salon or something like that. But either way, they both are just like, she's like, I just turned around and she basically went out of country, planned a trip for out of country a month in advance and just was gone. And Clint wants that. I don't know. Besides the attraction part, which again, just could be me, I don't really know what Gina's type is, but I just feel like she's very pretty. But at the same time, Clint has that scruffy, handsomeness about him that I like, if I like scruffy guys. So, I don't know. Like, we'll see. Didn't really nothing much stick out, but I just felt like that particular part. Like, why did she say that? Like, is that possibly going to be a thing, in their marriage? So, moving on from that. So, Aries and Jasmine. I cannot get over how excited Jasmine's family was for her. Like, that is like the ultimate excitement that I be wanting for these couples and these, for these couples, and when they're telling their family or their friends the news. But the reality is that's just not always going to be the case. A lot of times people's own perceptions, people's feelings about this experience are really based on their own experiences, if that makes sense. They're coming from a place of inside versus really what they're seeing as best for the other person, who's actually going into the situation or seeing what they want and what's really, what they consider to be best for them. And I get it. We may feel like we know what's best for another person, but that ain't always necessarily the case. A lot of times we're projecting our own experiences onto somebody else. And no, these people aren't getting married at first sight. But if you have fear for that person going into the experience, that's what you're going to project. You're not going to say it as fear, but you're going to say it in a way that you don't think, boom, this is not a good idea. Why would you do something like this? What if they're this? What if they're that? That's fear. That's fear. So, the fact that Jasmine's family was so like they were hollering, screaming, cheering, hey, maybe it could have been a drink. And if that's the case, then, and when I tell my family, I'm going to boost them up too. And hopefully, they would, react the same way. Especially because, Jasmine, was saying that her aunt, who was there was not the, she say what she feel, whatever. But she was the one jumping up and down, screaming, doing a Holy Ghost dance, like all that. And, she felt like you are deserving of this. You are a great girl. None of those guys seen that in you. F them. Like, we done found your person, girl. And it's just all in for her. But Aries. Woo, Aries. Now, as I'm sitting here talking about they're projecting onto them, at the same time, it was concerning for the fact of Aries' cousin literally saying, don't do this. Her feeling like, she says basically that he lacks experience as far as like a traditional relationship, basically saying he hasn't lived with anybody. Now, it does sound like that he has not really had a long-term relationship, but I guess, we can consider like a year and a half, like a long-term. But the traditional part, I guess, that she was talking about was because that person that he was in that long-term relationship with was long distance. So I don't necessarily feel like you have to have the experience of living with somebody to really have experience in a relationship. But, I don't know. And then I can say that I'll say this when it comes to men and what I've learned in just, relationships and hearing other men, Uncle Steve, I'll say, this is, everybody's opinion isn't the same on this as far as men knowing when they know. I thoroughly believe that when they know, they know. It doesn't take, I basically said I don't believe it takes them all these years and all that, to know if you're the one. Okay. So with that said, wow, I'm like, looking at him like, well, you don't have, she's saying, you don't have this much experience. And then you're talking about, you don't really hear him talking about much of his dating experience. I feel like that was the only time that I really heard him talk about, what dating looked like for him and things like that. So at the same time, I'll say, if you're ready, you're ready, I guess, so to speak. And while she's, like a stranger, if he's ready to make that commitment, I feel like, then yeah. So that might have been the thing maybe that I felt like, because I was like, there's just something about Aries that I just can't put my finger on yet. And maybe that's what it was. Maybe I wasn't hearing him talk about, I don't know, y'all. And maybe it's still like, I still just don't know like how serious he is. I didn't like how he was, possibly picking on some of the other guys about how they were. Like, I think that was, it was Chris. It was Chris, y'all. I do believe it was Chris that said that he had not, yes, because Chris is that nice guy. Yeah. That Chris, that was yes, because he's like going, yeah. Chris was basically, he hadn't had sex, like in a year. And then at their bachelor party, when he's just all in already, I feel like. And I felt like Aries was just picking on that. Like, I can't remember what was it that he said. But I was like, what's wrong with that? What is wrong with him committing and being ready already? He's going in this with the right state of mind that this is his person, that he's willing to make things work, but also this is the guy who does, fall hard, when he does fall in love. So I don't know. I think there's still something about Aries. Insert something about Mary. Like, I think there's still something that's just still like, I don't know. I don't know necessarily Maybe is. I think I need to see more of theirs. But yeah, y'all, maybe I'm just still skeptical about something. Yeah, as I'm even still thinking about it. And okay, yes, he very well could be ready. Um, I don't know. That's with a question mark between them two, and strictly just because of Eris. Last thing that I'm gonna get on, y'all, is Dominique and McKinley. So they basically have like almost a 10-year difference between them. It's between 9 to 10 year age difference between them. And I just feel like she's not mature enough for McKinley. So off top, they annoyed me. I'm not gonna hold y'all. She annoyed me off gate, y'all. She and her girlfriend, she just like, and that's just how she started it. So I get it, just talking about, oh, I'm not gonna be able to have, I'm not gonna be able to do too much. Basically, if they picked her, she wouldn't be able to have girls' nights and, too many girls' nights or whatever. Base. Her girls joking about, oh, he better, or I'm going to divorce him, and blah, blah, blah. It's what? I just felt like this, and it very well could have been jokes, but for me, I take marriage seriously, I guess, and then going in and you're already worried about girls' nights. Like, girl, you're meeting a stranger. You don't need to be worried about girls' night right now. You're low key starting to sound like baby girl from last. Y'all, if you watched last season, you know exactly who I'm talking about. I just cannot get her name out my head. I can't get her name yet in my head just yet, but. You're right now, you need to be focused, and I get it. It's not to say, I want to be clear, I'm not saying that as individuals you shouldn't have your time, but you should not be worried about whether he's going to be giving you permission to go on girls' nights right now. Like, I already have enough homework and enough to do by just trying to get to know this person and understand this person. So I kind of just felt like the maturity just was not there. From the previews, it's something that's clearly going to happen. But I already was apprehensive when I felt like that she was 25. I'm just, and then imagine me and my 12-year-old daughter having a whole conversation in here, and it turns into what age she wants to have kids, what age she thinks she wants to have married, and I'm just like, one, at 25, I wish I did not have you at that point. Yeah, I only had her by that point. It was just her. Probably a year or two later, though, her brother came along. But it's just to say that, no, I don't want you to have kids. And no, I definitely don't want you to be let alone even getting married. Like, I joke, like, your 20s. I think it was Judge Lynn Tolan, the divorce judge or whatever, or what, Tolan. I think I said that right, but y'all know what I'm talking about. And now she does like I don't know if she does like the divorce court anymore, but she's heavy on marriage boot camp. And there was this clip of her talking about, and it was when she was doing the divorce court stuff, about the age of your 20s and your 30s and she just hit it on point to me. And it was like the 20s is like your time of living your best life, traveling the world, learning yourself, getting to know yourself. Please don't think about marriage, a man, a kids. Like, enjoy you. And now being 30 and having at least 2 kids, at least by the time I was 30 or before I was 30, yeah, I would have waited. I can say that. I don't regret them. But if I could have made different choices, I would have. So mind you, her mom set her up for this. And even when she's doing her interview, she talks about how her mom set her up and then ultimately she got open to the process. She's not freaking ready. And I get it. You feel like she wants an older, mature guy, but are you ready? And are you ready for an older, mature guy? Can you handle an older and mature guy? Because that means you have to bring a level of maturity with that too. Is it just me? So, her mom, just having her mom so much input and I guess because her mom did sign her up, like they're calling her during the interviews and she's giving her view on how she is in relationships, and I get it. So boom, like, maybe choose something different. Don't automatically though sign your daughter up for marriage and to think like you foresee and have this thought of your daughter in one way. She's your daughter. You don't necessarily know her in relationship way. You get what I'm saying? Like that, like this, does that make sense? So it's just to say that, oh, she would never do something like that, and then you see proof that she does do this. I hope what I'm saying makes sense, and I hope like y'all can get what I'm saying. If you would disagree, by all means, drop your comments below. I'm here for it. I don't want to feel like I'm biased about being young and getting married, because people do it all the time, and people do it and they have stayed married. I just feel like, in my personal opinion, I just think you should wait. I just think it's so much more that you should experience before jumping on that embarkment. Yeah, that's just me. Again, I'm not saying that it cannot work. I'm just saying, and like I said, from looks of this girl, I just don't think so. I just don't think so. Clearly, we won't see something that's going to prove that as well. And I'm not just saying that because of what we saw. Even who was that? Nicole. She was like, wow, she's young at 25. I wasn't, oh, believe me, I know. I'm saying the same thing. I'm saying the same thing. So I think if you're older, you can kind of understand, or maybe if you can if you're older, I think you might understand versus somebody who is a bit younger. It's not even say if you're older you understand either, because you may still have a different opinion. So, and of course, I'm not trying to push my opinions. I have different opinions. I love everybody's opinions. Like I said, you're more than welcome to comment down below your thoughts, things like that. But yeah, I just feel like Mac is, a good guy. I literally, I've never disliked a stranger so much. How do you be in a whole relationship for 2 years, almost 2 years with a person, dang there with them 5 days out of the week, according to him, you have an opening to, to let this guy know, okay, was he not moving fast enough for you? Like, when he caught you cheating, that was a moment right there to put whatever it is need to be on the table, not necessarily to make things right. And only for short later, and then you turn around and who is this girl? Because I want to find her and troll her. You are who does that? That's messed up. And I'm trying to find compassion, and me being me, I always am trying to, give people the benefit of the doubt. So I'm thinking in my head, okay, maybe the relationship wasn't, clearly it's clearly they might not have seen the relationship in the same thing, but at the same time, he's this was serious. They were possibly it mind boggled me. And like I said, I don't like the girl, and I never like a stranger so much that I want to actually even troll them at that. That's definitely not my thing. And I don't like her. I don't like her, and I just feel yet again another person is about to get the shitty end of the stick with somebody. And I feel like she's gonna ruin this experience for him. And yeah, that's where I'm at with it. So yeah, y'all, I think that's all I got for this first episode. I'm very anxious to see next week we officially start to really see couples get married. We'll officially see Shaquille and Kirsten getting married, though it's now at the same time. I don't even want to see it, because I already know where her mindset is at with it. You hope that, at least by, the reception, she'll have gotten open, whatever. But no, I see Kirsten being all in her head about not getting what she wants, and blase. So I'm ready. I want to get past them already, and I'm ready to move on. And hopefully the next couple has, better, greater success. The first meetings are better. So y'all, please give this video a big thumbs up, a biggie thumbs up. Drop these hearts down here if you made it this far in the video, and I will see y'all next week. Peace, y'all.